Hello. What's up, chat? I have been very busy the past 2 days. What's new on the internets? Did I move again? No, I didn't. You're fine. Somehow, though, my... Wait a minute. Why is the webcam just pure darkness? What happened? Where's the death? All right, we're back. I was like, what the fuck? Why am I in the void? Darkness streamer, stop. Yeah, I've had a very busy last couple days. Very busy IRL things, chat. Schwarb, thank you for 29 months. Batilla, Arch MS, Pixel Wheezy, Supreme Deezy, C16, Tony, Checkout. Thank you. Did you make a deal with the spoon overlords? I don't know. I've been AFK for the most part for the past 2 days. I just looked in Discord and it says like we have a channel that's like general chat that's called Paid Freedom, and now it's called Spoon Freedom, and I don't know why, and I'm too scared to ask. Mochi, thank you for 9 months.
What is Seagull doing?
McMonkey, thank you. God of War, let's go. Okay, Beardy messaged me that when I was out and about. Apparently God of War is actually coming to PC, which also really implies that a lot of those... Do you guys remember that massive Nvidia leak that happened where someone figured out how to get into like the internal GeForce Now server and like start pinging it to see what all the games that were listed? God of War was listed on that for PC. And so it's going to be super interesting because that also kind of implies like people... So God of War was listed on that giant leak, right? It was like one of the most massive leaks ever in terms of just how much shit there was. And now that God of War is actually announced for PC, people are going back to that list and being like, wait a minute, are these other things also real, or are they just... Yeah, a lot of those are also testing placeholders. Exactly. Now we don't know how much are real and how much aren't.
I fucking hate Seagull.
Like there was one called Titanfall 3, but then everyone was just like, that was their meme name for Apex Legends. So we'll see. Dalian, thank you for 15 months. Way too lucky 15 months. McMonkey, appreciate it. You guys are nice. Silk Song was on there. Soul picked up Jonak and Smurf feels good, man. What an odd time. I don't know anything about Overwatch League, and I don't think anyone knows anymore because now it's Overwatch 2, so we're all just kind of chilling. Zero Pyros, they for 32 months. Speaking of Apex 2 trailer, so someone, I was reading in chat earlier, someone said there is trailers, but they contain copyrighted music. I still need to set up soundtracks so that way certain soundtracks don't get saved to the VOD. Harry Potter, thank you for 9 months. Fuse, by the way. It's actually Team Fortress 3. Can you imagine if they ever release TF3? There's no way. It'll never happen. They're even muted on YouTube, Pepe laugh. Oh yeah. I can imagine they would have lots of little things in the bottom. There's also a trailer that by the dev that made Stardew Valley, but I don't know if that's up your alley. We fucking rhyme. Tickle me. Thank you. Have I tried Lemniscate yet? Not yet. The only thing I know that's happening today off the top of my head, chat, was what's it called? Path of Exile. PoE's getting updated or not updated. Look at the last time I played. I haven't touched PoE in so long, chat. Look at this, January 18th, 2020. And apparently PoE is actually getting like a massive season. So people are excited. And I think that launches today too.
Shiny.
Am I gonna play Lost Ark beta? I will, and I'm really curious, very, very curious if so. Okay, they announced. So one sec, Lost Ark beta. There's like a blog post today, like an official blog post. Yeah, team announcement. No. There was one like today. Where is it? There, not today. It was one like this week. Team Twitter, not Lost Ark Twitter. They posted on their Twitter. I don't know. For some reason, I can't find it anywhere else. Where is it? Did I walk by it? Oh, here it is. It's this one, I think. What we have in store for closed beta. October team update. So basically, if you look and you just scroll down inside their October update for Lost Ark, which is... So for those who... No one even knows what it... Like, most people outside of Asia have probably... Like, you've never played Lost Ark because this is never released in English. So the true DGen ARPG nerds that I know, they've been playing on the Russian server and some other stuff in order to play Lost Ark at all. Lost Ark is basically take Diablo, but then make it even more money on animations and everything else. And then instead of it being Diablo loot centric, you make it an MMORPG with raids with full mechanics. Like actually like full mechanics, like a WoW raid. Like you know, like 6 other people, you have support builds, you have other things, and you like walk and you have support. And there's like full mechanics where people fuck up mechanics, you wipe the raid, stuff like that. So it has like a shit ton of depth. But the problem, obviously, with an Asian MMORPG is that it's usually monetization is terrible. And so Lost Ark was supposed to come to America soon. Amazon is the one that's publishing it, and so they basically said they did a little bit of a beta test, and they got a lot of rage about monetization, obviously, because all the NA audience, like, obviously the NA audience is never as pay to win for the most part as like Korea, right? And so that's what people have been waiting on. And so they released this October team update. And so they talk about closed beta. Closed beta originally was only supposed to go for 3 days. They extended it to basically 7 days. And then, let's see. I just control F, monetization. We will also provide more information on Lost Ark's monetization model and systems prior to beta. So keep an eye out for more details. They hide this line in the middle, but this is all I really care about out of this whole blog post. This entire idea of like, all right, this is extremely interesting. Are you guys actually going to come out and fully say what your monetization model and how you are changing it compared to the Asian side of things? We'll see. I don't know. Like if they do the same model as they have in Korea, for example, there's no way to do that well. For like, it's full pay to win if you really wanted. You could just straight up buy all of the top gear in the game using a credit card and just like run around, do whatever you want. But it'll get defended a lot, right? Because ultimately monetization has changed a lot in the online world over the past few years, I think. Like, just look at the success of Genshin Impact and how little people cared about its gacha mechanics because it was covered by waifus and a good gameplay at its core. So it'll be very interesting to see if they just lean into that and they're like, fuck it, dude. Or if they're actually gonna cut it down a little bit. Darkest Dungeon 2 early access trailer. I've never even played Darkest Dungeon. I played it once like 4 years ago and chat was raging at me, so I quit in an hour. I don't even know what was happening. Like, chat was just like, you can't do this. I was like, what's happening? I don't know. Elden Ring got delayed. When's it coming out? February 25th. So now it's coming out late Feb. Something else comes out this, like right near this. Wait. Witch Queen. Oh no. Okay. I don't like this. I usually no life Destiny when a new expansion comes out. That's the one time it's like the most fun in no life a Destiny season. So yeah, that's unfortunate timing. 3 days after Destiny, Elden Ring comes out. You want to know what else comes out soon, Siggy's? Guardians of the Galaxy. There's no way that game is going to be good. It's going to be so bad. Dude, we've seen enough gameplay in the middle. It's legitimately not possible for that game to be good. And we know it's not going to be good. But now, I still want to buy it just to see how bad it could be. Did you grind Rift Breakers during your time off? The first 2 days I did a little bit. The last 2 days I haven't been at my computer. 150 gigs, by the way. Is it really 150 gigabytes? I don't believe that. Also, Gilthas, Shadowcap, Mark, thank you. Bunch of letters, 22 months. Thank you. Son of Aries, Key Juices.
What is Seagull doing?
Moped. Hi, Moped. I'd like to inform you before I get slandered, I'm not responsible for Spoon Freedom. Roger that, Moped. Murcielago, thank you. No, they actually said it's 80 gigabytes after all. Oh, wait. Is that even that much better? Like, wait a minute. Isn't it, what game do I have? It's 80 gigs. Like, if I tried to reinstall this, what's Battlefield? Battlefield's 19 gigs. And I have, like, no space, by the way. I don't know why I have no space. Siege is 80 gigs. Cyberpunk. What's Cyberpunk since... Cyberpunk's only 65. Also, last played December 2020. Feels bad. Has anyone actually tried Cyberpunk since it came out? Is it good now? Is it safe?
What is Seagull doing?
Do the cops still spawn next to you, not LOS? I love that. Thank you, Vigurgo. Thank you, Goro. Thank you, too. It's not any better. They barely did anything. No one plays, no one can tell you. Oh, God, dude. They spawn like 5 more meters away from you. Oh, well, that's better, I guess. I mean, I don't even know if it was necessarily that horrible after... I mean, it just had so many things that are just like so bad to see clips of. Like, if you played on the old consoles and you try to play Cyberpunk, I will never forget that dude who posted like the clips on Twitter and other places of him just like, here's an experience on my Xbox. And he just walks in. It's like just bland boxes just loading in. He's like warping through the map as like everything loads in next to him. It's like, what the fuck is happening? It should have never been released for old consoles. Yeah, exactly. It just like, it really shouldn't have. It was not meant for it, dude. Are you excited for God of War when it released on PC? So I have not. Okay, when does God of War come out? God of War PC. No. Wait. When's it supposed to, I thought, did they have a release date yet for PC? Q1 2022. All right, so Q1, huh? Other people say Jan 22. Either way, if you assume then that it is Q1, that gives me potentially time because I could do God of War PC. I've never played God of War, and I'm gonna play on mouse and keyboard, and it's gonna get everyone really upset. Just go to the Steam page. Steam says January 14th, 2022. What the fuck? That's so weird. I mean, okay. Is it the same team that did the Horizon Zero Dawn port? The Horizon Zero Dawn port was done really, really well. They patched the shit out of it. They were constantly patching it until it was well done. I hope it, like, no, but I hope it, okay. My personal hope is I hope that PC port is as well done as the Horizon Zero Dawn point. port to PC. God of War 2018 is legitimately one of the best games of all time. I've never played it, so I have no idea. Apparently, Sony has a whole team dedicated for PC ports, what I've heard. Well, if it's the same team, they'll probably do a pretty good job. The only thing that I remember about Horizon Zero Dawn early on was when they're talking about the PC port, they talked about how it was an, quote, an artistic decision not to have an FOV slider. Then everyone raged at them and they added one. So, other than that, they were cool. Junkrat can one-shot a tracer than 15 meters now. So I haven't actually paid attention to Overwatch in a while. Like the actual Overwatch 1 balance changes or meta or anything like that. I have genuinely no idea. I'm kind of surprised actually that they still even patch it that much, because I know that it was about a year ago, probably a little bit less actually, maybe like 10 or 11 months ago. That was around the last time that I was super into Overwatch for like, I think I played it for like 3 weeks straight. It was almost a year ago at this point, right? And the meta was actually pretty good. Like everything was pretty viable and nothing was super, super horrible. And I don't think they ever, it's not like they've updated the game since then in terms of adding new characters or anything. So they should probably just do like small tweaks and just let it roll until Overwatch 2, right? Like what else are they going to do? This is the first experimental patch since July. Oh, okay. Then yeah, they're probably just chilling. That makes sense. God of War 2018 is a good game, but come on, it's not one of the best of all time. Wait, I don't know. You're probably triggering people. Right after you left, BAP got a buff that broke the game completely. Oh, but like, why? Actually, wait, I don't want to know why. I don't care. Do you see the Age of Darkness Final Stand game? It's like they are billions. I think I bought it. No, I didn't buy it. I saw Baru playing it. Age of Darkness Final Stand. Steam. I want to say that I saw Baru playing this game.
I fucking hate Seagull.
Also, Gatortex, SK Karma, thank you. That's 1,200 positive reviews. Is pretty good for a game that's essentially like, if you just watch some of like the small gameplay, the clips they have in this, I'm pretty sure it is legit just a game in the same style as They Are Billions. And honestly, I'm kind of a fan. I really enjoy these types of RTS games actually, chat, because for the most part, RTS games are pretty dead. And so I actually really appreciate it when people come out with RTS games that are just sort of PvE centric of, yeah, it's basically like RTS, you know, it's just a tower defense mode, but we're not going full balloons. You just protect against the hordes and run around. Do you still have MMO friends who are in New World? How are they holding up? So a few of my friends quit around the same time. I mean, I don't really play it right now. I got to around level 30, and then I don't know. I ran into the same wall that I knew I would eventually run into, which is New World is literally just repeating the same repeatable quests all the way to end game, and then the end game PvP is all guild centric. So unless you're in like a massive, I guess they call them companies in that game, taking over territory and doing that, it gets kind of boring. And then there's also essentially no PV end game that I know of. I know a few people who are at 600 gear score now, and for those who don't know how that game works in terms of how you farm gear, it's like you spam, you go from zone to zone, you do basically repeatable quests, plus there are some other side quests all the way to max. It's very tedious. It's a very long grind. iShiny was the first, and if you know iShiny is former pro Overwatch player, he was the first player to NA in New World, and I think it took him like 4 or 5 days. And then after you get to max level, you run around. I mean, this is like the true degen shit, right? Most people will never do this. But you get in a group of all your friends and you run around once a day and do chest runs around the entire continent in the max level zones, because how itemization works in a game is like Destiny. It's like a time gate, right? It's like a power grind a little bit. They get a piece of like 502 and then it goes to 504, then it goes to 506. So you do that for a few days until you're at 600, and then once you're 600, you go min max your build.
What is Seagull doing?
Breezy, Goofy Chan, Godly Panda, thank you. I liked Amazon celebrating finally having a successful game, but 90% of players will stop playing in a month. I think it's actually doing pretty well. It's on Steam, so you could see it. Steam charts. It's all public at that point, right? Dude, look how many people are still playing this game. 470,000 24-hour peak. It's fucking huge. The one thing that New World does really, really well is that numbers go up, chat. You actually run around and you chop a fucking tree and the number goes up and it's satisfying. This is like very good for a new MMO. Yeah, I agree. This is really, really good for a new MMO. And the reason for that is because if you look at when New World released, right? New World release date was September 28th. And so if it's actually been almost a month and they still have 400,000 players, that's kind of nuts. Which means a New World is actually way bigger than most people think. Because this isn't, I want to say, what would, isn't there a player base for New World that isn't on Steam? I'm trying to think of this. I don't remember off the top of my head. One on Orange, Super Murloc, thank you. New World's pretty good for the casual player. Yeah, it's like you basically, if you don't care about min-maxing leveling, having a long leveling process, I think it gets kind of tedious and boring after around level 30 to 40. But I don't know if people just enjoy the world itself and running around. That's cool. TF still has 90k players. What? It's not really 90k players. Like if you go to Team Fortress 2 here, there's 93,000. But there's another website I can't remember the name of right now that actually looks at how many people are in a server for it, and it's like none. It's like 80k bots. Honestly, 50% of the player base is a strong number even a month out. Yeah, and the big thing about New World is because it's an MMO, then having 50% of the people still around after a month is surprisingly good, just because of the fact that they still have to update and other stuff. I'm also really interested to see I know they had a lot of issues, so like New World recently added what was it, like server transfers, and so immediately they've been trying to rush server transfers to get it out the door, because they told people on launch, like, roll on any server you want, and in a couple of weeks we'll have server transfers, so you can go transfer with your friends, right? And then immediately what happened was people figured out that they could like submit a server transfer request and then cancel it or something, and then they could get an error, and then if they traded gold and then Alt F4'd, the gold duplicated, so then people were immediately duping all their gold, and then the smart people, like the smart degens, immediately after that immediately started to real money trade. They're like, I'll give you, if you PayPal me $20, I'll give you 1 million gold right now. And then some people, because they all know they're going to get banned the moment they do this exploit, they're just like, how do I convert as much of this bullshit gold to money cash, like right now? And so they sat there for the next 24 hours just trying to real money trade as much money as they possibly could duplicate. And a few people made some decent money off that, like a couple $1,000 because the other people who were buying it had no idea what was happening. Those are the players that ruin games. I mean, it's all getting rolled back. Like no one's keeping any of their money. The only people who are getting rolled in that situation are the people who bought the money, right? This is like it's just stupid. Just don't buy gold online. Osiris, thank you for 28 months too. Teamwork TF says TF2 got 16k players. Is that the official site? Is it Teamwork TF Teamwork? I don't remember. Usually it's like if TF2 has, say, 90k players, usually a lot of those are not actual players. The thing about Destiny 2, you have to pay extra for some dungeon on the new expansion. I'd have to do more research into that, because there's always a lot of misinformation that goes around Destiny. Like, as an example, like, I don't know, it's a very easy game to shit on for the most part, and so if all I read is a headline showing like Destiny 2 is now charging more to get to play in a dungeon in the next expansion, I don't even know if that's true or not. People could just be clickbaiting. Team Clean, thank you for 38 months. Did you see the article about how in-game money is so important, has so little supply that people are bartering instead of selling things in New World? Oh yeah, Ilana, the other thing that's interesting about that, from what I remember hearing about, is like at in-game, in-game gold becomes so scarce that
I fucking hate
not only do
Seagull.
people not that are now bartering instead of selling for gold, but also that a lot of the time players, instead of using repairs on their gear, would rather refarm it, which is kind of hilarious. I have no idea if that's actually true or not. Some idiot in chat said that a while back, and I was like, I don't know about this. The bit about Destiny 2 is confirming you listen, wait. Dado put out a video about it earlier today. Okay. If anyone wants actually educated opinions on Destiny, just go listen to Dado, because he actually knows what the fuck he's talking about. It's because dungeons aren't included with seasons next year. You get everything if you buy deluxe. Huh. Try to remember, do I buy the deluxe? I probably do.
Look at the size of that thing!
Hey Birdman, the entirety of the Discord wants you to know. It is without a doubt Moped's fault.
Without a doubt. Roger, over. Thank you, Tay. What is the Destiny 2 player base compared to Steam launch? Destiny 2 is massive, chat. Like, you're only looking at Steam, but like, Steam charts, sorry. Destiny is a fucking massive game. This is nowhere near the majority of the player base for Destiny because the vast majority are console players. That's why this is only the PC player base.
Look at the size of that thing!
Who's Moped? You mean the legendary Spoon Inspector?
Spoon Inspector. Thank you, Ruse. It's an easy game to just grind. Well, Destiny is the perfect game. That's a whole different discussion, but a lot of people have what I'll call like, what's the word? They have very large expectations for video games to take up all of their time. And so when games like Destiny exist that release content seasonally, logging in once a month and just grinding through everything for a week is the best way to go. If you play every day, it's kind of boring. But if you log on like once a month and you just start grinding everything for a week, it's really good. And that's kind of true for most games these days, I think. There's very few exceptions to this. It's just the nature of like, if every single game that you know is releasing new content and patches, the best way to spend your time is to wait for new content or patches to come out and then just grind through as much as you can and then move to the next game that just launched a new update. So Deck, thank you for 7 months. Destiny has some of the best gunplay for controller. That's true for like everything. Even on mouse and keyboard, it's one of the best. I'm a big fan of grinding Destiny for a week or two once every few months. That's usually what I do. Kind of depends though. People love to shine Destiny. There's no other game that plays like Destiny and gets regular updates. Is there a single other game that's similar? Nope. Not at all. The only Overwatch 2 Valence, okay? Division 2? Yeah, exactly. Oh, true. Division 2. But Division 2 stopped getting updates, I think. And I think they were working on one giant update for Division 2. I don't know. I haven't kept up to date with it. Warframe? Well, no, Warframe is very different from Destiny 2. Like Division even, yeah, Division's also a third-person shooter. Warframe has, if you compare Warframe to Destiny, they're so fundamentally different. Like Warframe, for the most part, is like you're farming specific shit. You're zooming through maps at 1,000,000 miles per hour. Like you're rolling around. It's sick. But Destiny is very, very different in how it plays. Like I don't think anyone's gonna say that Warframe, for example, is like a pretty normal FPS experience like Destiny. I don't know. Division 2 will get an update late this year or early next year. Oh, okay. You ever think about playing Path of Exile? I have not played we were talking about that earlier. I have not touched Path of Exile since January 2020. It is slightly tempting to log on and see what's changed in like the last year and a half. Because I have no idea what the fuck's happened.
I fucking hate Seagull.
Birdman, you ever see upcoming Star Citizen? Stop. Spartan. Nultz, 61 months. Hello, Nultz. Thank you. Huey gets a new league in like half an hour. Any Rift Breaker today? So I did last stream I played Rift Breaker a tiny amount. Rift Breaker is actually pretty good. I ended up playing it a little bit on Monday and Tuesday before I had to bail in the last 2 days. It says 18 hours, but I left it on at one point, I think overnight. You see any of the news for the next Apex season? We saw also Neon Sky. I don't care about the Tracer getting one shot. I don't care. Did you see any of the new news for the next Apex season? Someone in chat was talking about how there's like Ash and then also a new SMG. Last Czar. Thank you too. Star Citizen 315 will be out in 2 weeks. It's in decent shape. Stop. You're trolling. No one cares about Star Citizen. The game will never come out. Everybody's wasted their money. It's a bait. Prove me wrong. I will not be debated into thinking it's an actual video game at any point. You're just lying. It's not a thing. No Man's Sky win. I definitely wasted my money. Can you imagine, chat? When we're all old, we're like 60, 70 years old, getting ready for our retirement home living, and Star Citizen finally launches. Huh? Think about it. It'll be so good. Think I'll get to retire. True. Feels bad, man. What else happened on the internet in the past few days since I've been disappearing into IRL chat? The game tech is next level. Well, probably is. I hope so. We got a war on PC. We saw it. We hope for it. We want to play it. New Tiny Tina trailer out today. Tiny Tina. Blue light protective lotion. Fuck, that's a good one. Fits, they give for 5 months. Razer announced a new face mask with RGB. Okay, that's just funny. I'm down for this. I actually love that. The idea of having blue light reflecting yeah, I don't know. That shit sounds wild because I did I don't know. I've gone through okay, this is a weird topic for this channel. Chat, I have gone through so many like facial moisturizers, cleansers, and other things on my face because back in the day in like 2016, I was a fucking turbo nerd who had an extraordinary amount of cystic acne. And so I tried out a billion different products in order to find what was actually good or not back then because I just could not find anything to help out my face. And so it's a little bit kind of weird to see such, I don't know. It's strange, dude. The organic milk story, yeah. Then it was I got organic milk and I was saved. Also, what's up, Spartan? Thank you for 53 months, and that has been a long time. Did one of them take your eyebrows? Gamer lotion. Just go to a dermatologist. I did see, I was seeing a dermatologist very regularly at the time. I mean, so basically I was seeing a dermatologist, what was it? I'm trying to think, this is like 5 years old at this point now. We went through like 3 different things, like the traditional like pastor trying to help out cystic acne and stuff. I think that first they give you something like Retin-A or some other type of cream. And then I think after that, they'll give you some form of antibiotic to help out. And then that would help, but you can't stay on it long term. And then if all of those don't work, then I got to the last step, which is like, so do you want to nuke your own face? Have you considered Accutane? I'm just like, I don't really want to do this. Please, no. Reminder about DRG update on November 4th. Yeah. And so anyway, Accutane works for a lot of people, and I just didn't feel like it going through that much effort. And then it just so happens that it just kind of disappeared once I got organic milk, which is kind of funny. Just really fucking weird life story. But yeah, when I saw the whole the blue light reflecting thing, I immediately, you know, it's kind of snake oil. The moment you look at it, you're like, oh, this kind of a scam, but you know, whatever. I don't know why they just didn't roll out with like random giant YouTuber person doesn't just roll out with their own, like, don't all the skincare YouTubers do that anyway? I don't get it. Yeah, but thank you for 52 months. Spartan, thank you again. I bought a whole lot of reflect cream. Do you know what blue light is? It's a good pasta. Oh fuck. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's always new drama in the streamer world every like week at this point. It's just, I rarely get into talking about stuff like that, but that one's just funny as somebody who's been forced to try on a billion different products before and stuff like that. I've been no-lifing Riftbreaker. Survival mode is hard. So I played Riftbreaker on what's it called? Last stream. It's pretty good, but I think if you're playing the normal campaign, it might get a little tedious. Because what ends up happening is like, well, first off, you should play on a hard difficulty or hardest. Right? After that, though, it gets a little bit tedious because I haven't got enough in the story to say. I also want to try out survival mode. So far, it's like you just run around, collect new resources, advance the tech, build better defenses, repeat. And you keep going, which is cool. Survival mode is really hard compared to campaign. Yeah, I bet like if it was a little bit, I need to play it more just to see if it's like that on other stuff. Kind of like balloons. Yeah, I really enjoy games like that. It's just putting together multiple of my genres together. The idea of, I want to go play balloons, but I actually want to shoot stuff myself. And then this game came in, they're like, well, have you considered building your own tower, but also piloting a mech warrior and just running around? It's like, yeah, okay, sure, why not? Balloons, but you're also in the game doing shit. Exactly. That's kind of cool. I like it. Was that first person tower defense game that used to be popular? There's a few. Orcs Must Die. Is that considered first person? I never played it. People compared it. You had Dungeon Defenders, Sanctum. What else? Are you going to check out the Cycle? Summit compared it to a casual Tarkov. I've heard about the Cycle for a long time, and I've been kind of waiting to play it. I've sort of had it on my radar for a really long time. I didn't know that they were actually letting people play it and stream it and stuff. Otherwise, I would have probably tried it out earlier. Cool Kids played Plants vs. Zombies. Yeah, but it's like super pay to win now after it got bought out, isn't it? Did I ever play the old Battlezone remakes, the first-person RTS? Aelana, I did. In fact, that was a large portion of my childhood was in Battlezone. They also had probably the coolest mod scene for that small game. So Battlezone was this first-person RTS chat where it was like sci-fi, like you're piloting a ship on like planets and stuff, running around, and then also it's like a first-person RTS. You build bases and that type of thing. And this is a game that came out in like 1998 or something, like real old at that point. And so at one point though, I think the modders for that game all got together and they released a giant mod that was called like, I think it was Forgotten Enemies Project or something. And it was to extend out the story and create a very difficult and lengthy single player campaign with a whole new, whatchamacallit, a whole new race of enemies. And they actually went out and did like voice acting for it. They did everything. It was like a really old mod, but that's what I remember the most. It was actually really, really sick. What game? This is called Battlezone 2, I think. Back in like 98. Super cool. I don't know if it was ever like remastered or anything. A lot of those really old games, I don't know if they ever were. Wait, I think Battlezone I think did get remastered, but I don't know if the mods support stayed with the remaster. But I have to go look. PlanetSide 2 is the first game that nuked my PC. I tried to play PlanetSide 2 and my game crashed over and over the first 5 hours I played it, and so I never played it again. It was remastered? Nice, nice. Are you gonna play Balloons Tower Defense Battles 2 when it comes out? Listen, if I ever get sucked into a PvP Balloons game, that could get really dangerous. You want to know another dangerous tower defense game to play with your time, chat? Legion Tower Defense 2. This game is literally the same exact game that was in Warcraft 3 back in the day, just updated and released by the same devs on Steam. So if any of you ever feel like just losing your time, this is essentially the precursor to Auto Battlers, which is cool. Also, Pata, thank you for 35 months. Jolt, thank you too. And it is still very well done. So if you guys ever get bored and you want to support indie devs, I think it's legit just probably 3 or 4 people made that game. And the cool thing is, I think one of them ended up working at Riot, and then they quit their Riot job to go push out this game. It was something like that. It has a cool story to it. I'm not old enough to have played Warcraft 3 as a good. Well, you know, for people in your position, there's supposed to be this whole thing called Warcraft 3 Reforged, but I'm not sure I would go there. I'm just saying, maybe you should just wait. I still can't believe they shit the bed so hard on that remake. That poor team got forced to put it out so early. Ugh. Oh yeah, and I guess New World is still going good, chat. When I like, this is the most objective measurement. Chat, if you open up your friends list, you need to see who's playing what game. Destiny, New World. And then you have some nerds playing PoE. That's it. That's my friends list in Steam. Interesting. I really enjoyed watching your playthrough. Outer Wilds DLC's original playthrough somewhere out there. It's also in the VOD list. It's also in there. You're good. Baru confirmed to some nerd. I didn't know that Baru even played PoE. I'm kind of surprised that he would. His title says first time. Oh no. Oh god. I can't help but feel like Warcraft 3 or 4 are basically set up to have an excuse to can classic games. D2R is disaster too. D2R is not remotely as close of a disaster as compared to Warcraft 3 Reforged. Diablo 2 Resurrected as a whole is still amazing. It is really, really well done. The only issues with D2 Resurrected have been like server capacity, because they apparently said they were breaking like 400,000 current players or some shit like that. But like servers dying versus the game itself being rough, I cut more slack for like servers dying and stuff like that, because on a technical level, I felt the game was actually really faithful and well done. I can't believe Baru got sucked into 2,000 hours of PoE. Yeah, he'll probably be there for 20,000 hours. Be surprised. Warcraft 3 Reforged is a lot worse than rough. I didn't even get into it the moment I saw that they didn't really remaster a lot of cinematics and stuff like that. They tried. It was... yeah. What universe does Blizzard forget how to handle high volume? Kind of true. You'd be surprised though. I mean, I'll never forget my time with Warlords of Draenor release, and I was on a high pop server and I couldn't log in for 4 days. That was actually just sad. Sally sponsored to play PoE this league. I think a lot of people got sponsored to play PoE this league. I know what GGG does is if they have like, I think it's every other season or so, they'll sponsor a bunch of people, toss it in. Also, what are we... I have absolutely no idea what I'm playing today, by the way. I could show you, we could try Rift Breaker Survival. Apparently, I don't think I'm going to get into Path of Exile on the first day. I'd probably wait a day to play PoE just because, generally speaking, I think their servers and login servers explode. And I don't expect to get in there. Frostpunk? Wait, I never played Frostpunk. Valheim? I feel like you can't just like casually play Valheim. That's one of the games you log on and you're just gonna be farming for a long time.
I fucking hate Seagull.
Plato, 32 months. Thank you. Valheim hits a wall when you have to get iron. It gets boring alone. I did hear that you have to farm a decent amount. Frostpunk is like there are billions, but no combat. It's more about politics and resource management, if I recall. That sounds really boring. Not because I don't want it. I just like to click on stuff and see stuff catch on fire and explode. I'm like a smooth brain when it comes to that. Ranch, thank you for 5 months.
What is Seagull doing?
You fight the cold. DevCon. Not quite great. Thank you. Its trademarks are misery, child labor, and executions. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? That's hardcore. Also, wait, do I even have space for this game? How much space I got? 14 gigs, we're safe. Totally safe. I don't know how many games I have installed. Yeah, I have a lot of games installed when I'm scrolling here. 14 whole gigabytes. So you're gonna do the new PoE League. Okay, if I was gonna do a Path of Exile League, chat, I would do probably. All right, if I was gonna do it on stream, I'd play hardcore, just to see how long I survived until I died. Did you give the updates to Junkrat a sniff? Yeah, but like, okay. Where do I find Overwatch patch notes in the current year? Fuck, they're like in the game, but I don't want to load up BNet client right now. Overwatch PTR patch notes. Maybe it'll pop up. It did. Did you mean WoW PTR patch notes? Get out of here, Firefox. All right, very quickly. Where's it at? Where's it at, chat? Oh, experimental. It's experimental. Okay. Torb cooldown reduced, ammo consumption reduced. Why does Torb need more uptime on overload? Doesn't that thing already last 3 to 2? This just means you can shotgun stuff easier. Okay, so more times he can just push E and run at you and hold right click. Got it. Let's see. Deadeye. Initial slower damage ramping duration reduced from 0.8 to 0.5. Combat roll cannot be used in the air. So this will be good against Doomfist and Wrecking Ball, as it says here. Okay. Move cam. Oh, sorry. I thought my cam was on the right. Here you go. I totally forgot. My cam is usually on the right side. I just forgot. Moira orbs usually slow their speeds. Now they reduce from 27% orbital to 15%. So, but why? Okay, you know, most of these I don't really know why. See, Junkrat. So orbs hit more. Well, yeah, but like, why? Junkrat, the main goal of these changes, let's be honest, most of these are pretty straightforward. I don't care. Junkrat's the juice here. The main goal of these changes is to increase Junkrat's overall power, especially at close ranges, while weakening his long range spam. Direct hits within 15 meters will now do massive damage, while AoE and long range directs will be much lower than before. Wait, isn't that kind of weird? Isn't the whole niche of Junkrat a mid-range spam character? I find this change actually very interesting in context of Bastion and Overwatch 2. And I don't know if many people catch that. Do you guys know that Bastion Overwatch 2 now has mid-range spam and a grenade? It's a mid-range spam grenade. So are they trying to push Junkrat into close range and Bastion to take over the mid-range? It's kind of weird. They're just testing changes for Overwatch 2. Well, I mean, let's look at the numbers here, right? Impact increase from 40 to 90. Explosion 80 to 60. So at close range, I can do 150, so I can one-shot Tracer. Added fall off to impact damage. Impact damage can go to... Okay. Between 15 and 25 meters, impact damage reduced to 20%, 18.
Seagull, if you have 14 gigs available on your computer, you could install the Curse of Monkey Island over 350 times and still have more space available.
You know, that is actually very true, Spartan. You're not wrong, dude. That might be your best Monkey Island one yet. Thank you, Spartan. He's got a good point. He has a good point. Thank you. Holy shit. Thank you, Spartan. Okay. Back to the number crunching, chat. So you can one-shot Tracer at close range. Impact damage reduces and added fall off to the impact damage. Knockback amount also reduced slightly. This is kind of interesting because Junkrat is always kind of boot people. I guess I don't really understand what's the purpose in buffing close range Junkrat. Let me think about this. In the grand scheme of things, who actually feels the buff to close range Junkrat? Tracer, Doomfist, Reaper, Mei. Most of those aren't really that important. The big one is actually a tank. So stuff like Reinhardt, Wrecking Ball, Winston, D.Va. Although D.Va's probably going to eat some of it, but you get the idea. It's a little bit weird because I feel like this actually just is directly saying we want Junkrat to be more of a tank shredder. And I find that to be like a weird... It feels like a strange buff. What it kind of says... But they also say here specifically they want to increase Junkrat's overall power and weaken his long-range spam. But the whole point of the character is the long-range spam. So I guess what they decided was... I'd have to actually try it to get a good feel for it. But it's a little bit interesting, I think. The entire idea of nerfing Junkrat's long-range spam. I felt like this for a very long time, by the way. I remember on launch, we discussed this exact change. We literally talked about this in the first year after launch, that Junkrat spam across the map was fucking annoying, and it should just do reduced damage the further it travels. Right? Like, if you ever push through Dorado Choke in, like, 2017, right? People, you kind of had a good feeling for it. You push through Anubis in any year, right? In the other team out of Junkrat, you're probably going to feel like shit. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like caring too much about Overwatch balance at this point is just a total mistake. Like, why should I, as a player right now, care about these balance changes when I know they're probably just going to go to 5v5 and do all these reworks and this and that in like 6 months or whatever? Because, what is it? 6 months is Overwatch League, right? When is it? Is end of April? So what's the point almost? It's weird. They should go crazy now that Overwatch 1 doesn't matter anymore. Well, they're not going to go crazy. What instead they're going to do is, whoa, Lexi's. Okay. Thank you for the 5 gifted. Thank you, thank you. What I was going to say was, they don't want to go too crazy with the changes, because what they want to do instead is probably slightly nudge people into Overwatch 2. I just don't know how they can ever really do that, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they don't even want to do that. They can go crazy if they want, but... It's strange because most people feel the game is balanced and this is unnecessary. Nobody asked for changes of these heroes, really. You ever gone to the BNet forums? Just saying. It's on experimental. Yeah, it's only on experimental too. I prefer to save my eyes. Oh yeah, true. Well, anyway, what I was saying is, yeah, they're gonna try and tweak stuff and balance stuff and do whatever they want. And also, they probably have a ton of stats to show it, right? Like, if they internally have a ton of stats that show that McCree is like a shit win rate, which I think historically he did for a really long time. I don't know if that's still true. But back in the day, well, that was back before he got thick, right? So, I don't know what he's like now. Change is necessary to keep an evolving meta. That's a different discussion. The only reason I disagree with that is because right now, change... So, what is the purpose of regular balance patches? Right? I look at it as regular balance patches are sort of to fine-tune and refine a game because you're regularly introducing content. So things, you put in new characters into a video game, right? And maybe the numbers are a little bit off or this or that or whatever. You get the idea. I don't fucking know. I don't know if regular balance patches are for that. Also, Aner, thank you for 18 months. Melee has a shifting meta and nothing has ever changed. That's a different discussion too on people who there's this really weird discrepancy basically when you start playing games regularly and then also seeing what developers patch, where basically the player base has an idea of what a game is, and then developers have all the statistics and win rates of everything, and they go, these two things do not match up. And that discrepancy is like, well, what do you balance for? Do you balance for like the player base perception of which characters they think are really overpowered, even though statistically they're just kind of meh? Or do you balance around the true game, but then everyone in the player base thinks you're just a fucking moron, right? You can't really solve that. You kind of have to do both. That's why I think it was Kaplan on the forums at one point who said, like, yeah, this sort of discrepancy is why balancing a game is kind of art, not just just look at stats. Who cares about balance? Just make the game fun. That is also completely true, because that is what who was it? There was a Respawn dev who tweeted that the goal of balance patches and everything isn't just to make things more balanced, it's to make things fun, which is definitely true. Is that the Calvin playing New World right now? Yeah, that is. He is alive. He is out there in the New World. He's on that DGen life right now. Fun is just a buzzword. Yeah, I've heard people say that too. That you have to actually know why you think something's fun. Is he a doctor yet? He's actually already a doctor, and now he's a lawyer soon too. Five head. Oh god, dude. Big bucks. Big bucks. All right, what games we playing? I've been sitting here dicking around forever now. I don't know what I'm playing. Yo, it's Flom. Wait, right as I say that. Hey, what's up? You down to check out Cycle in a bit? I'm down. All right, I need to install it. Wait, I already did install. We're good. We can game. Do a couple runs. Roger, over. I'm on it. Let's game in 1 hour. Okie dokie. I'm in. I'm down. 12:15ish. Sounds good. Sounds good. Enjoy your time, Eric. All right, chat, let's see what this game is. I've never logged into it. I know nothing about it. Someone in the chat said it's a casual Tarkov. About to find out.